Hello guys and welcome back to Mel's Life, where we dive into everything life has to offer and try to solve some of its problems. Okay guys, so first things first, we finally have a background. It's not just my bedroom, it's an actual background, and after a lot of struggling I finally managed to have something somewhat decent, and the color can change depending on what I find around my house. But that's an upgrade, sort of, to this channel. The second thing is we are actually in August. As of today, it is the 1st of August, which scares me halfway to death, because where did this year go? It's August, guys. It's basically almost the end of the year, which is so scary. But today is the 1st of August. It is also a Monday, which just fills me with possibilities, because you always want to start on Monday, or you always want to start in a new month. Today we have both, and that is why, since we have now concluded our overthinking video series, we need to start something new. Now, I know there's still a lot more to discuss about overthinking, etc., but we'll dive into that maybe again at a later stage. For the month of August, I had a brilliant idea. Okay, I'm saying it's brilliant, but it's an idea. And that is to do a productivity month, where each Monday, and August has 5 Mondays, count them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Mondays, we do productivity challenges. Now, I know all of us believe that some days we can be a little more productive, but we just aren't. So each Monday of this month, I'm going to do a productivity challenge. Now, these aren't going to be major things. They're going to be small things that you can eventually build on if you wish to continue, if you actually see a difference. So it's not going to be major changes immediately. It's going to be small changes that you can build on. And each week, I'm going to do a different one. And that doesn't mean you stop the one from the previous week. You continue. But these are just kind of 5 things that help you become a little bit more productive. There are obviously a lot of things you can mention, but I just thought it would be fun to have each Monday a new productivity challenge that you can do at home, or at work, whatever. That I just needed to finish that sentence. Okay, so let's just get right into productivity challenge number 1, and that is waking up 10 minutes earlier. Now, I want to preface this by saying I don't want you to sleep less than your body requires, right? Because we know how important sleep is. If you don't, Google it. You will find millions of things, okay? I'm just saying. I'm not saying sleep less than your body needs, okay? So the guideline is about 7 to 8 hours. Me personally, I can cope with about 6 to 6.5 hours of sleep. I'm fine, okay? But that's me. I have come to realize what my body needs and what my body can actually live on. You need to figure that out for yourself, because it's not one size fits all with the situation. So figuring out how much sleep your body actually needs, how much sleep you can actually get through a day and actually be productive throughout the day with, is the first important thing. And then plan around that. But I know all of us, or most of us, want to wake up a little bit earlier, because we know that mornings are quiet, especially if you live in a house full of people where the noise is a distraction. The people are a distraction, and you just don't get anything done. So waking up a little bit earlier in the mornings gives you that quiet time to focus and actually do something without distraction. So maybe you'll have to go to bed a little bit earlier, but waking up 10 minutes earlier is the challenge for this week. Okay, so 10 minutes, I know it doesn't sound like much, but it's a start. If you're going to start off by saying, I need to wake up a whole hour earlier to get everything done, some of you may succeed. You may be able to do it for a couple of days and then just fail and be disappointed. If you're someone who can jump straight into an hour and actually keep up forever, great, good for you. Me, I'm not one of those people. I needed to build that time gradually until I'm now at a point where I can wake up early enough to get most of the things done in the mornings that I want to. Not all of them, but some of them. And it's really hard because it's winter right now and it's freezing cold in the mornings. But I managed to gradually build up the amount of time that I can wake up earlier in the mornings to actually get things done in the mornings. So this week's challenge, productivity challenge number 1, is waking up 10 minutes earlier in the mornings and actually being productive in those 10 minutes. Whether that is just waking up and getting ready for the day, preparing yourself for the day. You don't have to physically do something to be more productive. There's a lot of ways to be more productive. And then eventually you can add 10 minutes more in 2 weeks, or you can add 5 minutes more in a week's time, or whatever. And eventually you can come to that desired time that in the mornings you need to just have that quiet time where you can focus and be productive. Now, we spoke about quantity of sleep, where there is a guideline of how many hours someone needs, which you can kind of determine for yourself and your own body and your own mind. But there are other things that are also important, or one other thing, should I say, the quality of sleep. Now, I'm not the first person to say this. You've probably seen a lot of videos about it's not about quantity, it's about quality. That's true. If you have 6 hours of quality sleep, it is better than 8 hours of bad sleep. I'm just saying, it is what it is. So just a couple of quick tips to help. First, your environment. It helps obviously if it's a lot darker. It helps if it's minimal amounts of noise. So if you live with a noisy family, invest in some earplugs if you have to. So having a dark environment, having a quiet environment, and having a cool environment is actually very important, because if it's too hot, I know a lot of you probably have this problem. If it's too hot, it's not really easy to fall asleep. Now, of course, I know it's not always feasible to control the temperature in your room, but as much as possible, okay? So maybe don't sleep with long-sleeved pajamas if it's summer and you're really hot and you can't really afford to put an aircon or a fan in your room. Just try to do what you can in that regard. Then, so cool, dark, and quiet. It's the main component. Obviously, having a decent pillow and a decent mattress is important, but that those things are expensive. So I'm just gonna do what you can, okay? Then another thing is not having fluids to like about 2 to 3 hours before bed, because you don't want your bladder waking up in the middle of the night. It is annoying, especially like I mentioned, when it's winter time and you're just getting cozy and your bladder is like, hello, you need to get up now, and it's freezing cold and you have to go to the bathroom. So limit fluid intake 2 to 3 hours before bed so that you do not have to go to the bathroom and that doesn't disrupt your sleep. Okay, very important. Also, if you put together some of your things for the morning the previous evening, you'll sleep more peacefully because most of it is already done. Okay, then of course the age-old thing, not using cellular devices, shall we say cellular devices, I'm feeling very fancy today, or computers or TVs 30 minutes to an hour before bedtime. You've probably heard about blue light, keeping you awake, circadian rhythms, or is it circadian rhythms? How do you pronounce that? I should know this. Anyways, yeah, it does actually kind of mess up with those rhythms, and it does impair your sleep. So, try if you can, if you really, really can, because that also does actually play a role. What I like to do is know about 30 minutes before I'm gonna go to bed. I can't actually get into bed 30 minutes before I want to sleep, which is what I should do, because you should plan for the amount of time that it takes you to fall asleep. And if you can do that, that's great. But I cannot actually get into bed 30 minutes before I need to fall asleep because it's really hard. What I like to do then is just have one light or one candle on in my room so I can still do things, and keep it as dark as possible so that my mind can start slowing down, so that my eyes can realize it's getting dark and things like that. So do what you can, because quality of sleep is also really important. So I think that's all I can mention. If you want more sleeping tips, okay, you usually do it with your eyes closed. I don't know if you prefer doing it with your eyes open, that is up to you. Also, nasal breathing, very important. It helps you fall asleep better. So if you're someone like me who struggles with hay fever and sinus, invest in a decent drug-free nasal spray that you can use in the evenings if you can, or an air purifier to get those allergens out of there, but those are very expensive, especially the decent ones. But if you want more sleep tips, Google, YouTube, it's out there. The tips are out there. I just gave you a couple of basics. But today, that is it. That is the productivity challenge for this week. Waking up 10 minutes earlier. If you're going to partake in this challenge, give it a like so that I know you're competing. You're competing. It's not a competition. I cannot afford to give you guys a prize. But the prize actually is being more productive. You are gonna do more for yourself. That is the prize. That is my gift to you, okay? I know it doesn't count, but that's what I can give you, okay? Just go with it. So give it a like if you're participating in the challenge, and then at the end we can all comment and see what progress we have made and if it actually works and how much we've built on the initial challenge. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys for another video pretty soon. Bye!